Hey guys, welcome to another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about how to set and achieve any goal you set your mind to. I'm going to give you guys 10 practical tips, and we're going to go through them one by one, and by the end of it you should have a clear way on how to set and achieve your goals. Especially as we get into the new year, I want to make sure that this video gives you some great value, and these are some things I actually use myself, so let's get into it. Alright guys. Okay, so tip number 1 is to write down your goals. I always do this with any new goal that I have, whether it be running a marathon, doing an IRONMAN, climbing a mountain, or try to achieve a certain academic goal or a financial goal. I write down exactly what the goal is and what I want to achieve, and I write down a timeline for what I want. Let's say I want to lose, let's say I want to lose weight, I won't say I want to lose weight, I'll say I want to lose X number of pounds in Y number of time. So that way it's very specific, it's time oriented, it's basically a SMART goal. So that's one of the methods that I use, is to basically write it down. A famous person who also writes it down is Richard Branson. He actually, I read somewhere, he actually writes down some goals on his passport, or some new ideas on his passport even. So I'm not saying you have to go to that extreme, but I'm saying that you do have to be clear and write down your goals, because that is you're more likely then to follow through with them and achieve them and take the action steps needed to go ahead and do that. The second thing is know your why, and this is something that's spoken about a lot as well. Yes, it's important to have a goal, but it's more important to have a why, because when you go through those difficult times, you're gonna think to yourself, oh, why am I doing this? Like, what is the purpose of this? What is this for? You have to have a clear reason for wanting to pursue this, because that is the fuel that's gonna burn, that's gonna help you burn the fire in the long run. Because if you don't have that, then you're going to be a little bit wishy-washy here and there. The next thing is, which is not to fear failure. When you're setting goals for yourself, whether it be losing weight, or setting a certain financial goal, putting on weight, or writing a book, or whatever it is you want to do, there are going to be obstacles, failures, and things you have to overcome along the way. And these may be in different forms. These may be in forms of time management, people, different things. There are so many things in life that life throws at you, but you somehow have to figure out how to overcome it. Remember that failure is just part of the process. It doesn't mean that you have failed. It just means that you need to maybe take a different direction, or maybe try a new method, or try something else. But remember that it's just all in your mind. As long as you have a growth mindset, failure is just a step on the way to success. Number 4 is actually visualization. Now, I like to do visualization in an exercise called priming by Tony Robbins. I'll click a link to the video if you like to see that. But essentially, what priming is, it's basically you visualize yourself having achieved a goal in the future as if you've done it right now. So let's say you want to run a marathon. I already have visualized myself crossing the finish line of the marathon. So that's step number 4. Number 5 is actually being grateful for what you actually do have and have achieved right now. So this actually is one of the prime ways that people stay happy and be happy, because if you're in a grateful state of mind, your brain produces certain brain waves that go down to your body and your hormones and make you physiologically happy as well. So that's why I start every day with gratitude. If you're grateful for what you have, then you're in the positive state of mind to go ahead and achieve what you want, because you're operating from a place of abundance, not a place of lack. So I mean, that's another tip I use. Gratefulness, visualization, and another thing is I call affirmations. Affirmations are statements basically where you say I am, or I will. So for example, before I did the Ironman, I used to walk around my apartment in Australia saying I am an Ironman, even before I became one. So it was just a constant of doing that. I mean, people, my wife thought I was a bit crazy for doing it or whatever, and I wouldn't do it in front of anybody else. But yeah, I'm just joking. She was really, really supportive, and she's wonderful. But what I'm saying is that if you tell yourself I am statements like I am successful, I am going to do this, so I have done X goal. You almost send, you kind of manifest it. I believe in the law of attraction. The law of attraction states that you attract what you believe you are capable of, or what you believe you are. So if you put yourself in the present tense of what you want in the future, you can achieve that in the future as well. So visualization, gratefulness, and affirmations. I do that in a 3-step process called priming, and I'll link to that as well. The other thing I want to say is I like to bunch up my activities, which is step number 7. So I like basically doing all my, bunching up a lot of my day-to-day activities or day-to-day tasks with each other. So I do priming, working out, and reading all at the same time. Essentially what I do is, while I'm working out, I'm running or I'm lifting at the gym or whatever it is, I'm playing tennis, or not tennis, but if I'm lifting or running at the gym, I basically put my earphones on, listen to my priming, think about the things I want, what I have, what I'm grateful for, what I want to achieve in the future. And then I'm also doing the workout at the same time, so I'm mentally and physically motivated and spiritually also enriched. Then I also read a lot of audiobooks, so I read an audiobook at the end of the workout while I'm doing my cardio or something like that. So then I've finished about 4 to 5 different things that are good for me in the first hour or 2 of the day. So that's another tip I want to say, is basically to combine your activities in one thing as well. Okay, so guys, if you're liking this video and you're liking this content, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And do leave your comments and suggestions. I would love to know what you guys want to hear next. If you want to hear more detail about a certain topic, when it comes to mindset, fitness, nutrition, or motivation, please do let me know. I'll be very happy to help out and do as best as I can. All right, and the final tip is basically to be persistent. And I'm a very persistent person. I don't give up when I want something. Of course, I'm willing to adjust and maneuver, and I'm flexible enough to and intelligent enough to sometimes know when to change my plan. But I don't change the goal. So, for example, once I evaluate what my options are, let's say I want to climb a certain mountain, I evaluate what are the options, when am I going to do it, or etc., etc. And then I set the goal. Okay, I want to climb this mountain, and then I write it down. I know my why. I do all the other steps that I previously mentioned. But then I don't change the goal of the mountain. Maybe the time will change because of whatever. Like, for example, today, I mean, the world the way it is, things have been cancelled. You know, my marathons around the world have been cancelled, and obviously climbing expeditions also have been cancelled. But I mean, you have to adjust based on external factors, but you don't change the goal. You just change your plan accordingly. So you just got to be persistent, and you got to believe in yourself and be determined. And if you can do that, and you can do all these other things I've mentioned, you can achieve any goal you want. So finally, I just want to leave a little message. So we're heading into the new year. Set some high goals for yourself, and don't be afraid of failure. Believe in yourself. Go for it. Be specific about what you want, and you'll get there. If you need some motivation, you're welcome to come to my page and check me out. I'm always giving tips, and I'm happy to answer any replies as well. Take care, guys, and do hit the bell notification for the next videos that are coming out. Thank you. Bye bye.